So from October, there will be no hiding place for Dangote and Dangote refineries with respect to determining the price of petrol. Recall that as at yesterday or the past week, Dangote Refinery was asked, what is the price of Dangote Refinery fuel or Dangote Refinery petrol? And he said that it was the responsibility of the federal government. In fact, specifically said the Federal Executive Council to determine the price of PMS coming out from Dangote refineries. But from reports that we are hearing now, this is about to change, at least from October. Previously, we heard that the federal government was discussing with NNPC and with Dangote to determine whether or not they will do or they will have a subsidy structure where they will pay subsidy for Dangote's refinery. And then eventually we heard right from day one of Dangote launching his petrol that the NNPC has increased the pump price of fuel. Recall that the discussion between Dangote and the federal government on whether or not Dangote's petrol will be subsidized happened before Dangote launched. Now, when Dangote launched, on the same day that Dangote launched, he launched around 10, 11, 12 a.m. in the morning. By 8 a.m., as the filling stations were opening, they already knew the information or instruction was already passed by the NNPC for them to increase the pump price of their petrol. So, is it possible that the NNPC or the federal government were trying to negotiate subsidy payments with Dangote? Was that why they said that the NNPC will be the sole buyer of Dangote fuel? Was that why? Or is it that they didn't think it would be possible for them to increase the price of petrol? And that was why they were having that discussion. And now that NNPC has tested the waters and found out that, yes, it can increase the pump price of petrol and the heavens will not fall. Is that why they are now saying, okay, from October, Dangote Refinery will now determine its price. It will no longer be NNPC. In fact, that's what the report tells us. Let me just read through it very, very quickly. Okay, Dangote had said the price of petrol from his plant would be determined by the Federal Executive Council and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. And that was why they went into a meeting. However, Bloomberg, these agents of the IMF and World Bank, you will always wonder, how do they know? I'll tell you how they know. I'll do a separate video for it. I'll tell you how they know. How they know is how we also should know that the NNPC is making more money than they are declaring. I'll tell you that in another video. Some of you already know it, but you probably don't want to share it. Probably, I don't know what the reason is. But many people don't know. So for their sake, we'll expose it. However, Bloomberg report on Thursday said the federal government is considering allowing the refinery to set the price of petrol it sells. Bloomberg is an American financial news agency. And they already have information concerning what is going on in our Aso Rock. Meanwhile, our media here, they don't know anything. See, Nigeria will allow Dangote to set the price of gasoline to petroleum marketers. No. Dangote will allow Nigeria will allow Dangote to set the price of gasoline to petroleum marketers starting next month. I think that's wrong. It says going forward, petrol marketers will be allowed to buy products directly from Dangote refineries. Yeah. Also speaking, Temitope Ajayi is senior special assistant to the president of media and publicity, told Bloomberg that Dangote will not sell the product below market price. Now, this is why I say that there is no hiding place here. This is key. This is key. From October 2024, from what the senior special assistant is saying to Bloomberg, Dangote will not sell the product below market price. Those of you shouting and saying that Dangote Refinery is Nigeria's refinery, is our own, you will know the reality from October. I want to know the reality. I already have my suspicions. It's not going to sell below market price. The rumor came out before that they were going to sell below market price. I am hoping to be proved wrong that he will sell below market price since he's claiming to be patriotic, even though we know that he's just a businessman and very likely a strong A-level agent of the IMF and World Bank. He claims he's patriotic, so I was hoping to be proved wrong that he will sell below market price, below 16. In fact, it's no longer below 617 naira per litre. Market price now is 918 in Abuja, 855 in Lagos. That's market price. So invariably, the NNPC is already telling you, Nigerians, that from October, Dangote refineries can no longer hide behind NNPC or behind federal government or behind Federal Executive Council to say they are the ones that will determine the price of petrol. It will now be the sole responsibility of Dangote refineries. But then it's putting a caveat that Dangote will not sell fuel below market price. What is market price now? What is market price? 900, 1,000 naira, 1,002, 1,300. In fact, market price to them is landing cost, and they claim that the landing cost is between 1,200 and 1,300. So if Dangote will not sell below market price, what does that mean? It means that you should be getting ready for 1,300 naira per litre for Dangote fuel. I hope to be proved wrong. I am waiting. But since you guys say that Dangote is our own, since you know the amount of shares that you and your family have in Dangote refineries that makes him a Nigerian refinery, I want you to prove me wrong. I want Dangote to prove me wrong by selling the fuel cheaper. I want you to prove me wrong because you see, it was all a propaganda. All propaganda. All this, they are trying to sabotage me, all those things. It was propaganda. If the IOCs wanted to sabotage Dangote refineries, they won't let him build it. The way they have sabotaged our Jakarta Steel and our Alaja Steel, sabotage our power industry so they can continue to bring in their generator and their whatnot. They could have sabotaged Dangote if they wanted to sabotage him. So you think that Dangote coming out, who was Dangote making noise to? Dangote was making noise, was talking to the federal government. He was not talking to the IOCs. Dangote does not have the capacity to threaten the IOCs. He does not have. ICSID and the IMF and the World Bank, they got the back of the IOCs strongly. If you misbehave, they'll begin to seize your asset. All these ones, they seized our private jets and seized our guest houses because of a Chinese firm. Those will be child's play. So Dangote does not have what it takes to challenge the IOCs if they really wanted to sabotage him. So that's why you saw that he was always talking to the federal government, who did he threaten? It was the federal government. I know some people have refineries in Malta. Is it IOCs that have refinery in Malta? Was it not people within the federal government he was referring to? All these were for him to get a good deal. And so far, it's looking like he's going to get a good deal. But at the end of the day, will Nigeria and Nigerians get a good deal? Let us wait and see. As far as I know, the only reason or the only way Nigerians can celebrate and actually get cheap fuel, if not cheap fuel, fuel that our purchasing power can buy. Because I am tired of people saying our fuel is still below 1,000 naira. It is 2,005 in UK. It is not even 2,005 in UK. It is not 4,005. 4,005 is per gallon. Per gallon is over 3 liters. So it's effectively 1,500 in the US per liter. Now, the purchasing power, the earning power, the GDP per capita of America is over 15 times that of Nigeria. So we cannot compare apple for apple that way. That would be comparing apple with oranges, and that is wrong. The only way they can say, oh, the price is right, is based on the purchasing power of we Nigerians. I just want to see fuel that we have capacity to buy. I did an analogy the other time. I'll look for the video and pin it in the description. Did an analogy. By purchasing power, if you do GDP purchasing power parity, if we do purchasing power parity and we compare prices of fuel, right, what we should be buying fuel is 25 naira per liter. If you want to compare purchasing power parity between America and Nigeria, if fuel is sold at $1.50 per liter or $4.50 per gallon in America, based on the purchasing power parity, we should be buying fuel here at 25 naira per liter. I'll pin the video where I did the full breakdown. The only way we get to rejoice and get value for the resources God has blessed us is when our own state-owned refineries are working. The energies some of you are using to praise Dangote, channel that energy. Channel that energy on our refineries. Let our refineries work. Let nobody tell you that the refineries are old. They are barely 60 years. There are refineries that are 300 years old in America. They are still working. Turnaround maintenance has been turned into a big deal. It is not a big deal. It's like doing maintenance on your car. In fact, do you know that NNPC has a company that does turnaround maintenance? It's called Netco. That's all they do. They specialize. Turnaround maintenance is not such a big deal. Let us focus our energy and our attention on NNPC. Let's shine light on their activities. Let us put pressure on them to give us our refineries so that we can have true competition. These ones that Dangote is pursuing monopoly, it will not augur well with us. And stop deceiving yourselves. Dangote Refinery is not for you. It is for Dangote and his shareholders. The sooner, the earlier you know that, the better.